So this is a new series of videos that we will have based on some of weekly basis. In this video that you are watching, what am I going to read? And as you read, you can start checking your guess. So let's read chapter number 1. Let's read it. So listen and read with me. Of course, you can read with me. You can check your... Hello, everyone, and welcome to this video on WooEnglish. Today, we are going to go through a fun reading from one of our videos called The Wrong Choice. And before we go, let me just very quickly go with you through what we will see in this video. So this is a new series of videos that we will have based on some of the stories that we will share on a weekly basis. In this video that you are watching today, we are going to do some reading. We are going to see some vocabulary. We will learn some sentence structure, and finally, we will learn a grammar point. But before we go there, let me just very briefly remind you that you can find the entirety of this video, the whole of this video or of this story on our video section on the channel. This video will only go through one chapter. We will just try to use that one chapter to learn some language from it. As I said, so the video on the channel, of course, the whole story has listening and reading format. So you can read the text and you can listen to it. But in today's video, we are only going to read it. I'm going to read it for you. You can read along with me, and we will use that one chapter to learn some language. So without further ado, let's go. As I said, this is some of the points that we are going to go through today. But before we go to the next slide or the next point, let me kindly remind you to kindly like this video. If you are watching this video, if you have just discovered this channel for the first time, make sure to subscribe. You will not regret it. We teach you English here at WooEnglish the right way through stories by exposing you to the language firsthand. So as I was saying, the video that we have chosen for you today is called The Wrong Choice. But before we go there, let's have this little activity that I want you to answer in the comment section of the video. So I have this little template for you. I am from, and I want to learn English because. This is a little template for you that you can fill up with your information, with your ideas, and leave it for me down in the comment section. For me, for example, I can say, I am Hamza, I am from Morocco, and I want to learn English. Maybe I'm thinking about the time when I was still learning English. Well, I kind of still learn English right now, but because it's the language of the world. Here, what I mean is that if you meet someone and you are speaking two different languages, mostly you will use English to talk to each other. This is what we call in English a lingua franca, and this is English in the current in the current world. It's a lingua franca. It's a language that people who speak different languages, maybe if someone who speaks German and someone who speaks Arabic meet, mostly they will be speaking English to each other. So this is one of the things that motivated me to start learning English. So you can, as I said, pause the video and maybe try to fill in this template down in the comment section. So now let's start going into the story. As I said, we will not focus much on the story. You will find, of course, the link of the story in the description box below. But what I want is to use it to learn some English. So the first question I want to ask you, can you read the title here, The Wrong Choice? And look at the picture that we have prepared for you. Of course, the story on the channel has a lot of pictures in it. So every slide has a picture. But for today, we'll just have the text. We want to focus on the language. So can you look at the picture, look at the title, The Wrong Choice, and pause the video and write for me a guess in the chat. What do you think the video will be about? What do you think the story is about? What is the idea of this story? So if you can do that, that's a great way to start. Is and try to guess What am I going to read? And as you read, you can start checking your guesses and checking your anticipation. What did I get this correct or did I not? So you can pause the video, write your answer down below in the chat. So now let's read. So as I said, I'm going to read for you the first chapter. I'm going to go slow. You can read along. You can read with me, but you will find the whole video. It's a 1 hour long story. You will find it on the channel. So let's read chapter number 1. Let's read. So listen and read with me. Of course, you can read with me. You can check your pronunciation and so on. Leo wakes up early. The room is small. The light is soft. The city is quiet. And notice that I have highlighted some words. These words will be very important, very crucial when we are working on the language part. The city is quiet. And notice the pronunciation of the word, quiet. Leo sits on his bed. He looks at the clock. It is 6 o'clock. He stands up slowly. He washes his face. The water that I have highlighted washes as well. I hear a lot of people read it as wash our hands. We don't watch, we wash our hand. The rule has it that when we have SH in English, mostly 90% of the time is pronounced sound. If it is a CH, then it is a ch sound. The water is cold. He feels awake now. You know, when we feel awake, when we wash our face with cold water. He puts on his clothes. Leo wears simple clothes. A clean shirt, dark pants, old shoes. Again, SH, that's a sh sound. He takes his bag. He opens the door. He steps outside. So he takes a step out. The street is calm. Cars move slowly. We are talking about the morning. Mostly cities are very calm in the morning. A bus passes. People walk to work. The morning feels normal. Leo walks to the hotel. It's not very far. He likes walking. It helps him think. The hotel is big. It has many rooms. Many people stay there. So we will see why is he going to this hotel. Many people stay there. Tourists, workers, families. Leo works at this hotel. So he works every day. He cleans rooms and he helps guests. He enters the hotel. He says hello. The manager nods. A nod is the movement that we make with our head like this. This is a nod, right? Mostly we use it to agree with people, but sometimes we can use it to say hello, like you are passing someone and you do like this. Other workers smile. Leo starts his work room by room, floor by floor. He works quietly. The word quietly again. He cleans beds. He cleans tables. He opens windows. Fresh air comes in. Some rooms are empty. Some rooms are full. Some rooms are messy. Messy meaning they are not well organized. So that's what we mean by messy in this case. Some rooms are clean. Leo does not complain. This is his job. He works carefully. He likes order. So this is a person, Leo is a person who cleans the rooms in hotels. Time passes slowly. The morning becomes noon. So now we are past the morning. He has done all the work that he needs to do in the morning. Now we are in the afternoon. Leo feels tired, but he continues. At 1 o'clock, he stops. It is his break. He leaves the hotel, crosses the street. There is a small cafe. By the way, I find a lot of people who confuse between the words cafe and coffee. Maybe I will try to put them on the editing of the video. So a lot of people confuse between cafe and coffee. Cafe means the place where we go to drink a coffee. A coffee is the drink that we get in a cafe. So cafe is the place, coffee is the drink that we get there. So let me go back to the text. All right, great. It is his break. There is a small cafe. Leo goes there every day. He likes this place. It feels cold. He orders coffee. The cup is warm. The smell is nice. He sits near the window. He looks outside. People walk fast now because this is the middle of the day. The street is louder. The city is awake. Leo drinks his coffee. Notice here coffee because we are talking about the drink. Leo drinks his coffee slowly, quietly. This moment is important to him. Then he sees her. A girl sits alone. She sits near the window. She looks outside too. She does not smile. Leo sees her often, almost every day, always alone, always quiet. I think I'm going to skip the last couple of slides of this story. I will let you go to the video that we have on our channel and try to see what's going to happen later on. I would love to go now to the practice that we have for today. So as I said, in today's reading, we will go through the reading of itself that we have just gone through. Then we are going to go through some vocabulary exercises, some sentence exercises, and finally some grammar exercises. So let's go to the first practice for today, and I will pull this up. So the first practice of today is related to vocabulary. I asked you, or I told you that you need to focus on the words that I have highlighted, especially the two words quiet and put on. Let's take the word quiet, right? Normally in English, we have three words that look exactly like each other. The first one is quit, the second one is quiet, and the third one is quiet. So I want you to not only notice the spelling, the writing of the words, but also the way they are pronounced. So quiet, right? Quiet. I have in front of these three words three synonyms, three definitions, or three meanings. And I would love for you to match each of these three words, quit, quiet, and quiet, with the right meaning. So the first meaning is very or a little, meaning to some extent. Stop something. So let's start. You can, of course, pause the video and try to answer it in the chat, but I will go and show the answer directly. So for quit, it's to quit something, meaning to stop doing it. If you quit your job, you stop going to that job. If you quit smoking, or if you quit a bad habit, or if you quit the gym, meaning you no longer go. The next one, quiet, in the story of Leo, the wrong choice, of course, that you can find in the chat below, silent. When you go to a quiet place, you go to a silent place, where there is no noise. And finally, quiet is a little bit or to some extent, right? So if I say this is quite calm, meaning it's quite to some extent, or it's calm to some extent. Great. So let's see if you have understood this distinction between these three words, quiet, quit, and quiet. So the city is very, I have 5 sentences. If you can help me you can pause the video, of course. You can try to answer the, or you can try to put the right word in the right place. So I will go, of course, and reveal the answer right now. So the city is very, here, of course, it's not quit, it's not quiet, it's quiet, meaning it's calm. So the first one is quiet. Leo works carefully. If you want to say to some extent carefully, so we can say quite carefully. He wants to, of course, we said to leave a job is to quit a job. Please be, want to say to someone, hey, you need to be calm. We say, hey, you be, or please be quiet. And finally, this coffee or the coffee is quite hot. So I hope you have got all these correct. You can write for me how many you got correct out of 5. Now we have seen another verb which is very interesting, and it was highlighted, which is to put on. We saw that Leo was putting on his clothes. But in English, there are 3 main verbs that we use for cases like this. 3 main related to clothes, which are to put on, to wear, to dress. Is there a difference between these 3 verbs? Are they the same? Can we use them interchangeably? No. There is a difference actually between to put on, to wear, and to dress. Let's discover it now. So the kid is putting on his clothes. If we look at the picture, we will notice that the kid is at this moment putting on his clothes. The second one, James always dresses formally. So here we have the dresses, and it describes the way in which James is dressing. I think I will wear my red sweater today. So these are 3 sentences that show you how these 3 verbs are between them. We use put on when we talk about the moment when you put some clothes on your body. So we use the verb put on when we talk about the moment that you put your clothes on your body. The action of putting something on your body, that's put on. For example, hey, it's sunny outside, you need to put on your hat. Or it's cold outside, you need to put on your jacket, meaning you need to put it on your body. We're talking about the moment of wearing it, right? Or putting it on your body. The second verb, which is to dress, mostly talks about your style. For example, in this picture here, James always dresses formally, meaning he always wears formal clothes, right? So we are talking about his style or the manner he wears his clothes. Last one is to wear something, and we often use wear with an item of clothes. Like, what are we wearing? I'm wearing a sweater, or I'm wearing sunglasses. So exactly what I'm wearing. So it's not describing the moment of putting something on your body, but it's describing the clothes item that you have already on your body, or the state that you are in. Okay, so let's now go through these 3 verbs. So the first one, to put on, often talks about the moment you put something on your body. I wake up in the morning, I put on my pajamas. Or if I want to go to bed, I put on my pajamas. If I want to go to work, I put on my work clothes or my uniform, if you wear a uniform. To wear, on the other hand, is for the state. What are you wearing, right? If I'm talking, hey, what are you wearing? Meaning, what do you have on your body? The second one is for clothes item. I'm wearing a jacket. I'm already wearing it. I didn't wear it in front of you. I didn't put it on at the moment. I'm already wearing it. The last one is to dress, and mostly it talks about style or manner. And sometimes it means to put clothes on someone else. For example, the mother dresses her son in a certain way. So it's to put clothes on someone else. So this was the first part, the first section. I hope you are following so far. And I hope that if you have reached this place, make sure to write for me one sentence, only one sentence in English, to show us that you are a special follower. Write for us one sentence using one of the words that we have seen so far: quite, quiet, or quit, or dress, wear, or put on. Take one of these 6 verbs or 6 words that we have talked about so far and write one sentence using one of them. Okay, let's go now to the next slide. So, oh, yes, there is an exercise. So let's go to the exercise. Leo, his shoes every morning. He is a clean shirt today. She, the baby. He, his jacket and leaves. Leo, always simple clothes. So I want you to take a moment, pause the video, try to see if you have understood this first or the distinction between these 3 verbs. I'm going to reveal the answer to this exercise. So Leo puts on, here it should be puts on his shoes every morning. He is wearing a shirt. So for the first one, we're talking about what he does before he goes to work. And the second one, we're talking about his state. What is he wearing now? She dresses the baby because she puts on the clothes on the baby, and he puts on his jacket and leaves. So the action of putting something on your body. Leo always wears simple clothes, right? So we are talking about clothes. As I said, if you have clothes or an item of clothes, mostly the verb that precedes it is wear. Okay, so the second thing that I want to do now is to talk a little bit about sentence structure. If you are a beginner or even a little bit intermediate, you will notice that the story, The Wrong Choice, is mostly made up of simple sentences: subject, verb, object, period. Subject, verb, object, period. And this is a way just to make you follow the story without making the sentences more complex. But what I want you to do now, I want you to imagine that you want to make the story a little bit more interesting by using some linking words to the sentences. So I'm going to share with you some passages, some sentences from the story that we have just listened to together. And I want you to make 3 sentences into one. For example, Leo wakes up early. The room is small, the light is soft, the city is quiet. So you will notice that here there are a lot of simple sentences separated by periods. What I want you to do is to try and link these sentences together. You can pause, of course, the video and try to do that in the chat, or only try to do that in your head or in your copybook or on a piece of paper. So I will reveal, I hope you have paused the video. So I can say, look, Leo wakes up early. The room is small and the light is soft while the city is quiet. So here we can sprinkle these little words between sentences to make the sentences more, it's like adding some flavor to your writing. When you write simple sentences, sometimes it's good because it allows you to write much, but your writing will feel very dull, very monotonous. So what are you going to do? You try and sprinkle and flavor your writing with some words like and, or, then, therefore, because all of these words, we call them linking words. So I'm going to give you another passage. You can try, of course, and pause the video and try to do this again. If you can show me an example in the comments, that will be great. So he stands up slowly. He washes his face. The water is cold. He feels awake now. He puts on his clothes. Leo wears simple clothes, a clean shirt, dark pants, old shoes. We see a lot of sentences here, a lot of sentence fragments, pieces of sentences. I wanted to take a moment and try to make this more dynamic, make it more stylistic, like add some more linking words. We can use verbs or words, linking words of succession, like sentences happening one after the other. For example, he washes his face, the water feels cold, then he feels awake now, right? Or something like that. Then he puts on his clothes. So you can impress me in the chat or in the comment section. I'm sure you will do a great job. This is another passage that you can use to practice on. The street is clean, cars move slowly, a bus passes. People walk to work, the morning feels normal. These are simple sentences. I would love for you to try and make them more interesting. Last point that I will cover today in this video is, as you have seen, we've been following, or only in this first chapter, we've been following Leo, and we have seen what he was doing and how his morning starts, how what does he do at work, and what we are, or what you will have noticed is that most of the videos are in the present simple. The present simple is what we use when we want to talk about habits, something that we do every day, every month, every weekend. So I would love to go back to this slide here, the last one, the last slide that I took from the video, the wrong choice. And as you can see, there are plenty of verbs in the between parentheses. So what I wanted to do, I would love for you to try and make them in the present simple. You can pause the video again and try to do that. So return, not turn. So here you can see that there is positive, negative question sometimes. Not return, switch, prepare, not be, open, not cook, etc. So I would love for you to put these verbs in the present simple. You can pause the video because now I will reveal the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So this is the answer. Leo, I'm gonna read this paragraph. So Leo returns home late in the evening. The apartment is quiet and dark. He doesn't turn on the big light. He only switches on a small lamp. His mother usually prepares. We can notice that for the present simple, for he, she, and it, we add an S at the end of the verb. For the other pronouns, I, you, we, you for the plural, they, we don't change the verb. If we take a verb like return, I return, no change. You return, no change. He, she, it returns. So we notice that there is an S. And we, you, and they, no change, return. For the negative, like he doesn't turn, it's similar. For he, she, it, we add doesn't plus the verb unchanged. But for the other pronouns, we add don't. I don't like, you don't like, he doesn't like, she doesn't like, it doesn't like, we don't like, you don't like, they don't like. And finally, for the question, we add a do or does before the subject. Do you like? Does he like? And so on. So he only switches on a small lamp. His mother usually prepares dinner, but today she isn't there. Leo opens the fridge and takes some bread and cheese. He doesn't cook anything complicated. He sits at the table and eats slowly. Sometimes his brother calls him from the other room, but tonight no one speaks. Leo thinks about the girl in the cafe again. Does she live? Does she live alone? Why does she always look so serious? His friends often ask him to go out, but he usually says no. He doesn't like noisy places. And with this little exercise, we come to the end of this video. I hope you have learned much from this video. I hope you like this new format, and I hope that I will see your answers down below in the comment section. Of course, the whole story, the wrong choice. If you want to follow how did it end, what happens to Leo, what happens to him and the girl, do they talk, do they meet, do they fall in love, and what is the wrong choice that is taken in the story. You can find the link of the story in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow us, to like this video, and maybe to share it with your friends.